Okay, so after a long day of work or studying, you are at the bottom of your energy. There's nothing left. If you were getting robbed, the guy will only get an assist. And then you see it. Bright light, strange smell containing unholy things, and a lot of noise. You enter, get your stuff, and just sit with your order. And you don't really like what you're seeing. It doesn't look like what was promised. It's holding itself together with some dark magic, and your expectations aren't that high. But are we gonna act here? Nah. We're going to destroy this thing. Its own Adam didn't even know they could be reached to that level. Already finished? Don't care, give me more, bro. And then you get home and don't feel that great, both physically and mentally. A part of your brain doesn't feel right about it, but the other part finds comfort in this indulgence. And when you realize that, you're like, wait, what? So yeah, I just spent the last few minutes talking about food to introduce a webtoon to you guys. Yeah, I know, I'm pretty bad at what I'm doing. Anyways, the X-Ray Academy Survival Guide. I've said it and I keep saying it. There's something wrong with this thing. Like, the cook entered the kitchen with only a leaf, half a Kit Kat, an empty bowl, and vodka on the side. And he was still able to cook something. That wasn't that bad. But with stuff like this, the map ain't nothing here. And I know what you're thinking. When is he gonna shut up? Well, maybe in about 6 or 8 minutes. I don't know, screw you. But I can still explain the story if you want. So we have a guy who played a game and then got reincarnated inside it as one of the extras in a magic academy. But what are you looking at me for? I got nothing. Like, it's my fault if the meta is put the plot inside the title. I mean, it's like YouTube thumbnail. Can we judge? Yep. So our boy, Ed, gets into a pretty shitty situation because he ends up in the body, we're phrasing, of a bum of this noble family. Wait, this does sound like last time. Anyway, he gets kicked out of the dormitory and has to adjust to his new life in the wild while trying to stay in the academy. Cause unlike our world, having a degree there actually guarantees you a good and stable future. I mean, if you look at their courses, it's not algebra at 7 AM. It's more like... Yep, something like that. So yeah, the guy's got a pretty packed schedule. That's the whole setup. But what about the characters or the universe? Alright, we can skip the universe part, cause who am I kidding? It's just a generic magic fantasy world. Not that it's a bad thing, it actually lets you get into the story easily. Just don't expect too much from it. Not bad, but ain't mind-blowing. One of the main aspects of the story is the relationship he has with others, and all of them are shitty at the start. If you remember, I told you he got reincarnated in the body of a bum. And what does a bum do? Bullshit, nonsense, and being a dick to everyone around them? Yeah, pretty much. The man just arrived, got labeled as Discord mod, and now has to prove he's a functional human being. So yeah, tough to be him. Then what about the character themselves? Well, that's where it gets complicated. They're not bad, just very classic. All of them are defined by their archetype, which makes sense since they're from a video game, but it makes them very easy to understand and easy to lose interest in. Like, oh, so you're the guy who's kinda wild and wants to fit into society? Okay, cool. Don't get me wrong again, it's not a bad thing. It just makes you orbit around the main cast more. Which is a shame since a lot of side characters could have given more depth to the universe or story. Some of them actually do. Now, what about the main cast? Ed is a pretty interesting case, because he's kind of bland. I mean, who am I kidding? He's basically MC number 105. He doesn't have a strong or eccentric personality, but it doesn't feel wrong.
What?
He's like the medieval equivalent of a TikTok grinder. It doesn't make him boring though, mostly because of horror farming. We hate that shit. But also because of his point of view on his situation. He basically knows how the games end and uses that knowledge to his advantage, trying to only interact with the worthless part of the plot. But he always ends up getting dragged in anyway. He's just a guy who wants to live peacefully in his little cabin. And that's it. Well, without counting those characters, or as I like to call them, who's gonna get the boy? Yeah, that's the main thing I can't really stomach about this story. The harem aspect pisses me off. At the beginning it was okay, like, alright, it's a webtoon with an antisocial aura farmer. Of course, there's gonna be girls around him. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So hold on. I think that's enough. When did you become an option? Are they bad characters? Not really, actually. The three main heroines have interesting lore that developed throughout the story. Just sad for Jenica cause she was the first one. Her arc ended faster, and now she's just there. She does help, and is still fun to watch. Lortail is probably the fan favorite, cause she's a tsundere. I already gave my take on those characters before, so I'm kinda biased. Is she a bad character? Hell no! She probably has the most interesting arc, and her entire demeanor is super entertaining to watch, cause we know, as readers, what her actual feelings are. Classic, but a good classic. Lucy is the complicated one. Her story is really interesting as she is a fun character, basically the Deus Ex Machina of the story. And you can also see her as a mascot, I guess? But she's the little sister, nothing more. I don't have the vision here, guys. The first season ended a while ago and we're waiting for season 2 to come out. So, was it any good? I don't know. I don't know, and that's what's crazy about this thing. Like, I made a whole video talking about how the story just low okay. Not bad, but not that great. And yet I don't know why I enjoyed it. Kinda like when you eat at a fast food place. Thank you, I do write my text. So I guess we shouldn't be ashamed of our guilty pleasure. We can be perfect. We all have shitty takes or taste. But hey, at least it's cool to know we're not alone. All of us in line, waiting at that fast food. But if you're boiling chicken nuggets because you think it's healthier, I'm leaving you alone with your dementia. How is that even a thing?